Right. So another thing I'm thinking about um, is this theory, this legal cause of action called malicious prosecution. Now, I am not a Florida attorney. Okay, I'm not a Florida attorney. I'm not admitted to practice law in the state of Florida. I don't, so this is not legal advice. This is really just me um, wondering, whether even this cause of action is still good in Florida. Because if it is, I think that this is another point that Meghan needs to consider in her fireworks countersuit against her sister Samantha. And you know what? I say this with all due respect to Samantha, because you know, I'm that kind of a girl. I can see both sides of a story. I don't like what Samantha's doing. I'm definitely team Meghan all the way on all of these issues. But I look at Samantha, the way her life has gone. Um, you know, there's that little part of me. I think I would have been a very good judge, because I always can see the two sides. And so I see in Samantha somebody who is very, very hurt and deep, 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 deep. And I mean, if you go back to her childhood, which is where I think you need to go, you may find the root of that hurt. You look at her parents' marriage, and, that doesn't sound, I don't know, I wasn't there, but it doesn't sound like it was the most idyllic situation. They divorced. Then she had these children that didn't work out. She lost the custody. I mean, okay, the children apparently accused her of emotional abuse. Her own mother gave an interview to some British papers a few years ago, saying that, Samantha was not a fabulous mother. I mean, look, as a human being, I mean, look, I'm that kind of a girl. I can understand all of these moving parts. Then she got sick. She's in a wheelchair. I mean, my God, it's a lot. And, you know, she probably brought some of her problems onto herself, and etc., etc. So everything I'm saying here, take it with a grain of salt, because I don't say it in the spirit of hurting Samantha. I'm saying it in the spirit of getting Samantha to stop what she's doing to her sister Meghan, and potentially get some help for herself as a human being, and then as a mom and as a sister, right? And then the whole family getting some help as a family, because I think what it is that Samantha needs help. She needs attention. She needs validation, you know, and I can understand it. I understand it on many different levels, but it doesn't give her the right to do what she's doing to her sister Meghan. It's not Meghan's fault that her life went the way that it did. It's not Meghan's fault that, Meghan's life went the way that Meghan's life did. I mean, yes and no. I mean, Meghan did a lot of work on herself, but she probably got some lucky breaks here or there where Samantha felt like she got not so lucky breaks. But again, it's the luck of the draw, and you don't do this. So that said, I would love to talk to the two of them, and just I would totally talk to both Meghan and Samantha. But before that, we've got to get Samantha to stop. We've got to get her to stop these lawsuits. It's harassing. In my view, in my opinion, she's harassing her sister. And now I think it rises to the level of malicious prosecution, which, as of 2013, according to this website that I'm looking at, was a cause of action in the state of Florida. Now, what do you have to prove here, Meghan? You have to prove, according to this website, again, this is not legal advice, it's just my opinion based on what I'm reading here. So that's a disclaimer. This is not legal advice. I'm not an attorney for anybody unless we have a signed retainer, okay? But in Florida, this guy says in his website, Kluger, Kaplan, Silverman, Katzen, and Levine. Take you two twos, it's Meghan's attorney. I mean, I have no idea. It says, the law in Florida is well settled that a malicious prosecution action requires the occurrence of the following 5 elements. Number 1, a criminal or civil judicial proceeding was commenced against the plaintiff. 2, the proceeding was instigated by the defendant. 3, the proceeding ended in favor of the plaintiff. 4, the proceeding was instigated with malice or without probable cause. And 5, the plaintiff suffered damages as a result of the defendant's filing of the litigation. Okay? I frankly think that Meghan can make out all of these causes, all of these elements of this cause of action. Of course, she can't, yet do it because the proceeding ended in favor of the plaintiff. Her proceeding is still ongoing, so it hasn't ended yet. But I would say that she has to start thinking about deterrence. She has to deter Samantha because Samantha needs to be stopped. She needs to be stopped. And she's not going to stop. Even if she loses this defamation lawsuit, she's not going to stop. She's on a mission. I don't know what the objective of this mission is, but it's not about money. She's not looking to make money. She's suing for $75,000, and I'm willing to bet that the legal services she has thus far received exceed 250,000 US dollars. So basically, even if she wins the lawsuit, she loses, hundreds of thousands of dollars. She's not suing for the money. There's some other motive behind her behavior towards her sister, and she has to be stopped. So Meghan is going to have to use the law as both a shield and a sword against her sister to get her to stop. And I think if malicious prosecution is still a thing in Florida, I don't know. I'm not a Florida attorney. If I'm on retainer, I can do some research, but I'm not, right? So this is just my opinion. If it's still a thing, she needs to consider that as one of the weapons in her toolbox, and she needs to use it, right? She needs to also go for intentional infliction of emotional distress, and she needs to countersue for defamation. She needs to fight fire with fire, in other words, and get Samantha to stop.